Well, hello, hello, hello. I hope you all are having a super duper fantastic day out there today. Y'all know what day it is. Hey, it's Friday. It's my day, and I'm live at 5. Hey, it's Friday. It's my day, and I'm live at 5. I'm live at 5. All right, look, come on inside of the StreamYard room. Look, I had to change my title around. I had mixed it up a little bit, but it's Think Speaking Act today. Think Speaking Act. Go ahead and put that inside of the chat. Okay, yes, you was dancing with me, girl. With my dress. Can I get my dress, please? Can I get my dress? All right. Hey, sissy, how are you? Are you out there still and about? And I can't get my dress. When you get a minute, give me my dress. I don't care how long it takes. But look, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Denise Merriweather. I am the CEO and founder of Queenpreneurs Jumpstart Program. It is the #1 training environment for women in the world looking to leverage their knowledge, ignite their passion, and build a highly profitable business. Look, you guys, we have been talking about creation and speaking and telling your truth and all of these things. So I'm going to give you a quick recap and we're going to get into this conversation of Think Speaking Act. Okay, so Monday, we talked about You Don't Know Me Like You Think You Do, right? Where people have totally put you inside of a box, right? They actually have you stuck in a frame or a place where they actually exclude you from opportunities or things that you could appreciate or would appreciate, right? Just because of what they believe that they know about you. And it's the same thing that you do to other people, right? Sometimes there's people that you believe would benefit for something that you're doing or would have a great time. Like my sister said, Deneen, someone had reached out to me on last night and they were inviting me to the New Edition concert. But you know what? I really don't like New Edition. I know New Edition is your group or whatever. So if you were here, I think that would have been a great opportunity for you or for us to go to, right? That's just her operating on what she knows about me. But in the very same vein, because she knows that I'm not like a big Maxwell fan, right? She probably wouldn't invite me to a Maxwell concert. But here's the problem. Every day I may be different, feel different, want something different. But if she walks around believing that I would not enjoy Maxwell, because I didn't say I didn't like Maxwell, but I'm just not running out here going to buy Maxwell tickets. Now I got a best friend that's in love with Maxwell, and she go to Maxwell concerts all across the country. Like she just fly to different places. Maxwell gonna be in Atlanta, I'm going. Maxwell gonna be in Washington, D.C., I'm going. Maxwell gonna be in New York, I'm going. Do you get what I'm saying? So sometimes we have this thought process and we have people in boxes because we believe we know them the way that we know them, when in actuality, you really don't know them as well as you think you do. So create space for them to be to grow and to evolve in your life, and for even your understanding of them to grow and evolve as your relationship builds. Okay, number two, on Wednesday, we talked about speaking your truth and move on, right? It was all about creating, visualizing, speaking it into existence, and then releasing it. And now I want to talk to you today about thinking, speaking, and acting, because I don't believe you totally get how important the process is and how important and how much time you should actually take doing it. And a lot of times we don't spend a lot of time doing a lot of thinking. If you are in a lot with me, I don't do a lot of thinking. I do a lot of doing, like moving, reacting, making stuff happen. But in reference to doing a lot of thinking, visualizing, dreaming, and writing that stuff down, I don't do a lot of that. And that's why I built in days of silence. Put that in the chat, day of silence. It's coming. I'll let you know when we will have a day of silence, so you can definitely put it on your calendar and plan to participate. But here it is, and here's why it's so important to think. So number one, when you are thinking, it gives you the space of having more details, like, details, because it's all in the details, right? Like, and I want you to put that down. It's in the details. It's in the details. So when you're actually doing this exercise of visualizing and thinking, I want you to think that it's in the details. Put it in a chat. It's in the details. It's in the details. And I want you to think about these things that you want to create in a way that you can feel it, you can see it, you could explain it, you could give it to somebody else. You definitely could write it down. I was working with my coach earlier this week. I did a communications course, and in the communications course, we had to create what we wanted to show up, like the future that we wanted, and talk about it and share it with someone. And when we were thinking, she would just keep saying like, oh, I was like, well, I want to have 2 new clients by the end of the week. Okay, tell me about them. What is it that they're doing? Well, these clients actually help kids or train kids on how to take the things that they love, their passions, and monetize them, right? And then I just kept developing the type of person that I wanted to meet. And then after she asked me this, and think about this, write this down, whatever part of this conversation that I'm having with you right now, write it down. And then she asked me, she said, well, who would you need to be in order for these people that's going to show up? Like, who would you need to be? How would you need to show up for them? And I was like, oh my God, powerful, unstoppable, a supporter, a leader, right? Someone that can help and assist them and stand with them as they're creating this opportunity for themselves and for the future that they want and they want to have and how they want to show up in the world. So it's all in the details. So what are those details that you've been leaving out or not expressing or not writing down or not telling people? Because when people actually can get your vision, they can actually see it is in the details. It's in your vivid shares, in how you describe it, is how you speak about it, which it leads me to number 2. When I say speak it, I want you to share it with others. And I want put that number 2, share it with others. And in a way where you want to fulfill on it, right? Sharing with people helps you fulfill on your dreams, goals, and your aspirations. Because when you are sharing from your heart what it is that you're up to, what it is that you want to do you know it excites people? Do you know it touches people? Do you know it moves people? Do you know it inspires people? Do you know it gets them excited? The next thing you know, like the other night, I was sharing with my sister about something else I was creating. And she started just giving me all these ideas. Oh, you could talk to this person. You could reach out to this person. You could talk to this person. You could talk to this person. But it's going to lead me to the third thing that I want to talk to you about. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me these the ideas of people that I could reach out to. But I really want you to get that is not in the doing, right? It's not in me coming up with a plan to execute or to take actions on, right? That is a plane or a level that I lived on for a long time. And maybe some of you, if you consider yourself to be a doer, put it in the chat. I'm a doer. Like, you make things happen. You get to where you need to go. If you say it, you do it. You do whatever it takes to make it happen. I would definitely put myself in the category of being a performer, that I do stuff and I do make stuff happen, right? But when I was coached by my coach, right? When I was in the conversation with her, okay, Sissy, I see that you're a doer. Yeah, I'm a doer too. So we get it honest, right? I totally see our parents as doers, making stuff happen. You know, and I have lived in that plane, in that world of performance for so long, and it has benefited me. Like, this is not a bad thing. Being a doer is great. But what she proposed to me is, haven't you lived in that life for a long time? Wouldn't you want to live in a life where there's more ease and flow? Put that in the chat. More ease and flow. That's not a number. Just put it in the chat. More ease and flow. And I was just like, right, where you create things and it's not a whole bunch of doing and effort and work on your part, but that it actually comes and it flows to you. And this brings me to number 3, which is act. Put that in the chat. This is what I want you to put in the chat. Act intuitively, right? Act intuitively. That's what I want you to put in the chat. So this is a new way of performing, a new way of bringing things into existence. Is, what if you only took action on the things that you felt intuitively? Like, oh, you know how sometimes you're in a line at let's say Starbucks, and something says, didn't even pay for the person behind you. And you're just like, oh, can I pay for the person stuff behind me? Right? That's intuitive. That's like something just comes up in you, and you're like intuition, right? And you're like, oh my goodness, I just have this strong feeling to take care of this person behind me. Well, what if you actually act like that during the day? And when you got those impulses, those thoughts, where it said call somebody, that you didn't hesitate and you didn't say, I'll do it later. You picked up the phone and you called them. Like, this happened a couple of weeks ago. Sherilyn and I was in the StreamYard room, and I was thinking about someone that's at our congregation. And I mentioned his name to her. And lo and behold, the next day, she calls me and texts me to say that this person is in the hospital. I'm like, oh, now I totally get why. Intuition, my gut was telling me that I needed to reach out to them. But see, we don't tend to take those actions for whatever reason. Maybe we're afraid. Maybe if it said, hey, go up to that person and tell them that they look nice, or ask this person a particular question. But I want you to get that there are things, I would say the Holy Spirit, I would say God, that's actually moving things around in this world in order to meet your dreams, to honor your requests. But we don't act intuitively. We don't act when we get the nudge. We don't act when we hear the voice, the silent voice, the low voice, right? We kind of overthink things, especially if you live in the world of doing, right? Because it's hard for you to accept things coming your way that you feel like you ain't work hard for it or you didn't do a lot to get it. But I want to challenge you over the weekend, even for the next couple of months, that you start thinking about things, you think about them and visualize them in detail, and then you share it with other people. And then when you walking around just minding your business, right? Because remember, we talked about releasing it and letting it go, moving on. Like once you release it, there's nothing else for you to do. There's no planning for you to do. There's no steps 1, 2, and 3. It's just act intuitively. When you get the nudge, the feeling, the thought to take a particular action, then you take it. But until you feel the intuitive action, or you feel like a whisper or hear a whisper, or believe the Holy Spirit is communicating with you, don't do nothing. Just believe that everything is working out. And whenever you get in your head about overthinking it, I want you to release it and start doing something else. Do y'all have it? Y'all got what you're going to do? Think, speak, and act. Put it in the chat. Think, speak, and act. I want you to do this. I want you to practice this. And then I want you to communicate with me and tell me how it's going. What miracles have you created? What things have you seen show up in your life just from you acting intuitively when it speaks to you? Got it? All right. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you share this video live at 5, Deneen Merriweather, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Always looking forward to serving you. Becoming the Change waitlist is coming. Our next section is going to start in August. So I want you to go ahead and start getting your mind right. Get ready, because we're about to do the thing at the end of the summer. All right. Always looking forward to serving you. I love you. I'm live at 5. Hey.